I just want to say that this console generation, especially on PlayStation, has been fucking ass.
Horrible.
And that's mainly because nothing is for the PS5. Everything plays on the PS5, but there barely is anything that's for the PS5.
Hey, welcome to a nerdy reaction, nerdy thoughts. We ain't reacting. Well, we are.
You rusty as shit.
Kind of reacting. It's been a couple weeks. Nerdy thoughts.
You niggas don't pull up no more. That's what.
Hey.
I got you, Mac, nigga. We been here for 2 months by ourselves, nigga. What are y'all talking about? All right, let's get back
again. What's going on, people? It's your boy Macky. Hope you're living good. Hope you're doing right. As you can see here, we got my good brothers in the building. The razor sharp assassin with the clipper and Johnny B. We also
back, baby.
We also got the black Kage, the hook Kage, aka Salt and Pepper Poppy Crispin. And last but certainly not least, Batman forward, Batman pull up, a Batman forward, Batman pull up, Batman forward, Batman pull up, Batman pull up, Batman pull up, blood and fire, yo.
Guan.
Shawny in the building.
You gotta change it up. You gotta use the right vernacular. In the building.
Oh, Shawny in the place. In the place. And we are nerdy by nature. Hope you're living well. Hope you're doing right. Welcome to a nerdy reaction. Nerdy thoughts. We ain't reacting. Well, we are.
You rusty as shit.
It's been a couple weeks. Nerdy thoughts.
You niggas don't pull up no more. That's what.
Hey.
I got you, Mac, nigga. We been here for 2 months by ourselves, nigga. What are y'all talking about? All right, let's get back.
Let's get back to the video.
All right. So, what are we talking about today?
PS5,
Sony.
bro.
We talking about Sony, the PlayStation.
Sony.
I don't know what's pro about this PS, but cool.
Sony said earlier this year that we're probably getting the PS6 by 2025, 2026, I think they said. They said, what?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2026 was when they said. And then they said, psych! We're going to give you the Pro right now.
They never said we were getting a 6, bro. I don't know where you heard that.
Yeah, they did.
I heard something like that too.
I think the only thing I remember for sure was that Phil Spencer at Xbox said that Microsoft was working on the next Xbox already. It's possible that Sony could also be working on the next PlayStation, but I don't remember them announcing it.
Yeah, they never announced it. They never technically announced anything. The only thing that was just rumors that a Pro was in development and that it would be released sometime this year.
It was like almost like a confirmed rumor though. Like everybody knew the Pro was coming out. Yeah, they leaked like the silhouette of it and everything. Like there was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, we're almost at the end of this particular console
generation.
And PlayStation does this every single time. They've done it since PlayStation 4. And
what year did the PS5 release originally? Was that 22?
I think 2 years. I think 2 years ago, yeah.
Was it 21 or 22?
It was like 20 or 21.
It wasn't definitely 20.
And can we pull up that info just
when the PS5 came out? I think it's 2019.
PS5 came out on November 12th, 2020.
Oh, 2020. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so then
2026
would technically be a 6-year console generation. But before we talk about anything, I just want to say that this console generation, especially PlayStation, has been fucking ass.
Horrible.
And that's mainly because nothing is for the PS5. Everything plays on the PS5, but there barely is anything that's for the PS5. All of these fucking games come out PS4 and PS5.
Bubba.
So if everything fucking plays on my PS4, why did I spend money on a PS5?
True.
My counter question is: has there been anything that's come out where you specifically have to play it on the Series X?
On the Series X?
No, I don't think.
No, I think they've made everything like. No, I think. Wait, which one was it? There was one game that I remember recently that they had an issue with it being. They had an issue with it being on. I think Xbox One and the Series S. I think it was like it only really plays on the Series X. I'm just trying to remember what it is. But I'm looking at my Xbox app right now. But come back to me later with that. I honestly don't think there's anything that's really for the Series X specifically either. Because I think Forza you can play on Xbox One, Halo you can play on Xbox One.
Lies of P last year.
Lies of P was Game Pass.
Yeah, but isn't Lies of P multi-platform?
There's multi-platform, yes. It was just available on Game Pass for free.
Okay. Starfield? That was last year.
Starfield was Xbox only.
Starfield, yeah, but wait, no. So Starfield, I think only plays on the Series consoles. I don't think you could play Starfield on an Xbox One. I don't think you can do it. I think it might be Starfield. I think Matt's right. It might be Starfield.
Xbox doing what they do.
But just
but that's it. One game.
Yeah, these I mean, Xbox has never been like the exclusive game, especially exclusive game guy, especially ever since
Yes, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
Exclusive to them, but not exclusive to like a console.
Can I land?
Halo was literally the launch game with it.
But Halo is
Halo, Gears of War.
One person at a time. One person at a time.
I want to. I just want
to go. Okay. All right, go ahead.
In this guy. No, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Halo, Gears of War, Forza Motorsport, Fable. They have a lot of console exclusives. We can't say that.
I'm referring to like this generation. There hasn't been much as far as games that are exclusive to Xbox for this particular generation that everyone is going crazy for. We can say that as an Xbox guy, I could say that, but I can also
say like popular exclusives.
Yeah, but
I would say Starfield probably the only one.
Which one?
Starfield.
Right? Starfield's probably the only one because Grounded went to PlayStation, right? And Hi-Fi Rush also went to PlayStation.
Eventually,
and,
and
these were all Xbox exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only other game that might only be on the Series consoles and on PC is Microsoft's Flight Simulator, which is actually an interesting game, but it's just like unless you care about flying like that, like you're not really gonna play it. Like it's not like a it's a simulator. You don't really play it. And that's really it. Like Hellblade 2
was another one.
Hellblade 2 is exclusive.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the kid. I mean, it's to say that yes, they still have exclusives. A lot of the games they both got them. We're kind of treading far from the main point of what we're supposed to be talking about.
My main point from bringing up this conversation is just that Sony's been making these announcements or making new consoles available for games that we can play on a PlayStation 4 still or on the original PlayStation 5. So I'm like, we're going to end up talking about the PS5 Pro today. And I'm just trying to rationalize like why somebody would need to spend. Obviously you can want to spend the money and have like the console because, you love PlayStation and you just want to add it to your collection. But the need for it, I don't really see one.
I feel you.
So I'm struggling with that concept here. So they announced the PS5 Pro not too long ago. I know we're a little late to that conversation, but it's still pretty relevant because they just had the 30th anniversary stuff that came out, like Shawny wants to talk about in a little bit. Did everybody here have a PS5 or no? I think with Crispin, you only have an Xbox,
I
right?
got an Xbox Series S, dog.
Xbox and the Switch.
And a Switch.
And a Switch and the Xbox. Macky has a PS5, and I know Shawny has a PS5, as do I. I don't really play my PS5 that much. Probably hardly at all.
I sent you the controller, by the way, to get fixed.
Oh well, yeah. At least they're doing that. You can't open the fucking controller.
No, but it's under warranty, so they're gonna fix it for me. I just had to pay for shipping, $20.
Damn.
Better than buying a new controller.
Facts.
I mean, I just bought a new controller. I don't know how your shit is broken already.
Blame cheap ass Sony. Anyway,
I mean, I've had my console since day one, and I have not had a controller issue.
bro,
And I have 3.
Stick drift is a bitch. Pause. But anyway, to talk, to continue what John was saying about PlayStation 5 Pro. So I pulled up some of the specs here, and I'm gonna share it on the screen so we all can look and see why this console is an additional $200 from the original. So yeah, this one. This is it. Boom. All right.
So how much is an original PS5? $499.
$499 now. $500, and this is
And the Pro is what, $699?
$799. $699? $699. Yeah, $699. All right. So these are the specs. Obviously, the left is the PS5, the right is the PS5 Pro. Shawny, do you want to kind of go in depth on some of the specs? Because I know that's your thing.
Shawny's like,
I got 3.
But let me get a motherfucking.
You muted, my boy. You muted, my boy. You muted, my boy.
Yeah, you're muted.
Turn on your mic. There you go.
I'm just gonna read it based off the AI. So it's a number of upgrades, includes a 45% faster GPU, a 2 terabyte SSD, AI, power scaling, and enhanced ray tracing. And I do believe now you're able to maximize and get the 14. I think you get 4K at 120 across the board. So, and I could be
I
wrong,
thought it
but
was
basically,
4K. I thought it was 4K 60.
I believe it's 4K 60. But now what they're doing is essentially you have balance mode and you have performance mode. So performance, not balanced,
Fidelity.
high res. So high res basically gives you the 2160 at about 30 frames, and then performance will give you about will push you up to 60 if possible. I think at about 1440p. So essentially, it's just
it's HD. It's just not 4K.
They're HDing the block. That's what they're doing. They're 4K.
See, the issue, right, is like I got one of those original PS5 boxes that has 8K on the fucking box. There was a time where they actually started taking the 8K off of that box because the original PS5 doesn't output 8K. And it's just like, yeah, okay. On the original PS5 now, like Shawny says, you have most games come with 2 different modes. You can either play the game as pretty as it can look, but it's gonna move a little bit slower, or you can move at the correct speed, but it just might not look as pretty as you might want. And the PS5 Pro is supposed to combine those 2 together, so you get the pretty beautifulness at the correct frame rate.
Got a question from a casual player. What is the big difference? I know how it looks when it comes to like movies and stuff. What is the big difference when I'm playing a video game and it slows down, but I want it to look pretty? What's the difference? Yeah,
can I answer this?
Give me.
I just don't want anyone to shout over me while I'm answering it.
Go.
Not that much of a difference. If you look at the videos of them side by side, you can't even really tell unless your face is literally in the screen. Most people who own a PlayStation don't even have the technology to
on the TV.
The right TV or monitor,
TV or monitor, or they may have the right TV and monitor. They may not have the right HDMI wire. They may have HDMI 1.0 instead of HDMI 2.0. So there are a lot of factors in order for you to see what they're telling you that you can see.
Sir,
for an extra
please
$200.
correct yourself real quick. Number 1, It's HDMI 2.0 and HDMI
2.1.
2.1.
I said one.
Number
I said
two,
You said
1.0.
you
1.0.
said 1.0 and 2.0. You're like generations behind. Secondly, again, the same can be said for Xbox because they both utilize the same features on the TV.
Absolutely.
So the same reason you can have a PS5 Pro and your TV be not equipped for, or your monitor not be equipped, could also apply for
To
the
your
Xbox.
Xbox.
But
Absolutely.
here comes my
Now,
question. Here comes my question. Because I'm
mhm.
asking because I am a casual player. I do not play as much as you guys do, right? So when you playing as a casual player, why would you pay the 700 beans?
That's the thing. It's not for
It's
you.
not for you.
Okay.
And they're not marketing it to you either.
It's the same reason why you have a Series S versus having a Series X.
No,
Like
I just wasn't gonna play that many
you
games.
would be content with the features that you would have on the Series S. Would it be nice to have a Series X? Yes, but if you consider yourself to be a casual gamer, it does not make any sense
It
for you
doesn't
to
impact
utilize
your
it.
gaming experience at all.
Exactly. So
So like
this go ahead, John.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No,
No, it's just the only difference you really notice is like frame rate. If you were to look at, I mean, you know film, right? And
Yeah.
you understand that 60 frames is a lot smoother than 30 frames.
Yeah.
But when you're filming for a movie film, like actual film,
Yeah.
you know that it's like what
24.
25, 24, right? Because that's just what gives you that
Yeah.
cinematic
Yeah.
like look to it. Yeah.
The only reason you would shoot like 60 is because you're slowing it down, but
That or because you want it to look super realistic.
you don't want a movie to look like that.
But you don't want a movie to look like that because it's gonna look like those TVs that have all those awkward settings at fucking Best Buy.
You look yeah.
And
Oh,
You look dumb. Sorry.
yes, it looks dumb.
My apologies.
So it's something that unless you really want your game to perform at the highest frame rate, because maybe you play competitively online, maybe you play first person shooters, you don't, but maybe you play first person shooters, and being able to rapidly move the camera back and forth and everything kind of stay intact and not look like a total mess helps. Maybe playing sports games with the high frame rate also helps. But if you're not doing anything that's precision, if you're not doing anything that's competitive online, you're just kind of playing by yourself just to have a good time. 30 frames is fine. If you were playing your Switch, no problem, then like there's nothing stopping you from enjoying the base PS5 as opposed to buying the Pro.
I mean, I can't compare the Switch because I was playing Animal Crossing and Pokemon.
But those games run on handheld. Everything runs at 30 frames.
Yeah,
that tablet can't produce anything more than 30 frames. When you dock it and you play it on the TV, you can get 60 frames out of it.
I would just.
I mean, again, Crispin is speaks from the casual performers. Like, for obviously this does not mean anything to him, nor should he really care, because like it thing, and that's the thing with the Pro. The main difference, as to answer your question, the biggest difference that Macky was saying is that you can't see it. Performance and fidelity mode are combined. When you play the game, you have to choose between the two. Do you want to perform how well the frames are, or do you want to perform get the highest quality possible? When you get the Pro, you don't have to choose between the two. Now, the next question comes into play: are there going to be games that are optimized for? Are there going to be games that are PS5 Pro exclusive? No, they're
They
just going
said
to be
they're
a PS5 game.
optimizing. They said they're
Well, no,
optimizing.
no.
They had a whole sizzle reel of games that were
Well,
going to
that's what I'm trying
play
to say.
better on PS5
Like,
Pro.
I mean, no, until like their games are not specifically
Meant
made
for that.
as an exclusive for the Pro. But yes, the games,
We'll
they
have
have a list of
exclusive
about 30
settings.
games that are going to be optimized and basically essentially upgraded to take advantage of the Pro features. So,
Okay.
for example, Spider-Man 2, that is a game where it's not a shooter, it's not competitive play, but it is something that you might want to see the highest quality, the realism in the world as you're swinging around. You want to see all of that? Then yes, it would be something for you. Final Fantasy 7, was it Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Same concept. Final Fantasy 16, Stellar Blade, games like that. Again, if you're a casual gamer, this does not apply to you. If you are a gamer that wants to go above and beyond, then it does apply to you. Now, we had, when this initially came out, I think we had a conversation in the WhatsApp about it. Me and Musa were both shitting on it, and we both like PlayStation, but I was shitting on, like, yes, it is too expensive. There is no benefit for somebody who is a current PS5 owner to upgrade to it unless they truly care about playing the latest and greatest and the highest quality possible. We are not the target audience. That is something that we had to come to terms with. We are not the target audience. Now, you could technically go and trade in your PS5 to GameStop and then get the Pro and you get $400 and then you're upgrading essentially for $300. Like that is
would
a
make sense.
possibility.
That would make sense for a lot of people to do.
Yes, if you're that would be my thing. If you're going to do that, then I would recommend you do that. But if you are somebody who clearly just does not give a fuck about that, then don't do it. If you don't have a TV that is HDMI 2.1 and can actually hit 120 hertz like native, not boosted, because it's a big key defining. Some TVs will say that it can go to 100 to 120 hertz, 240 hertz. No, they just use a boosted filter to achieve that. If it's not a native TV that does not have HDMI 2.1, you should not be getting this console. If you do not know the difference between a 1080p and a 4K TV, you should not be getting this console. There's a reason why you should just not be getting this console. I should get the console, but even as a Sony enthusiast, I am not getting this console anytime soon. The only way you will see me getting this console is when they release later. It drops down in price, as all consoles eventually do.
And
PS5 still 500 beans.
Let me just throw this out there that this generation has not really seen much discounts on the hardware. Switch has never gone down in price, and the only one that I've seen on sale has been the Series S.
I blame.
Actually, the OLED did drop down recently. Well, the OLED now is being bundled with Mario Kart 8, and I think the price dropped down recently, which means the Switch 2 announcement is probably coming soon.
No, they're just giving you Mario Kart for free. They're giving you the free download code for Mario Kart, and you get a year of Switch Online. That's the value. They're not dropping the price.
No money.
But that's still, but technically speaking, on that value, what Kart 8 is what, $50 probably still?
No, 60.
And then you're price. So 60. The online membership comes out to 20.
Yo,
so you're getting
$80.
No, I have the leftover COVID cough. I can't control it. It's rough. But yeah, so you're getting an $80 value additionally. That's the closest we can get to a discount. But you are correct. We are not getting a discount.
I feel like they're not really discounting them, and
not losing nothing. It's giving you a code.
About this drive. Talk about the.
I was just about to say that. You took the point away from me.
Go ahead.
The $700 price point is for the digital version,
bro. I'm out of here.
For the digital,
I'll see y'all next video. I cannot believe
it. This drive, Crispin, is retailed for $80.
Oh, you have to add it. Like you have to.
It's its own fucking accessory. You gotta buy it.
Like
you gotta buy the.
I buy an iPhone and I need to get the brick for the iPhone.
Yeah, just like that. It is literally that they sell you the disc drive. So if you want a disc drive, you gotta buy one. Everybody gets
$780.
$780 if you care about physical media, which you should, and I'll bring up my point later.
Plus tax.
But yeah, plus tax. And
800 beans.
That's 800 beans.
If you want to stand your PS5 Pro vertically, you gotta buy the stand too. The stand is so separate.
Whoa! They don't send the stand.
No, the stand.
Do they send the controller with the shit?
Just the controller, and I guess your HDMI and your power cord, and that's it.
I just need 2 seconds. Sony is playing you guys for fools. They gave you a whole console. They gave you one with the disc drive and without the disc drive. And then they're selling you the Pro for an additional $200. And you have to buy the disc drive if you like the media. And the shit is supposed to stand up. It's not supposed to lay down on the floor like the other ones. It's supposed to stand up.
It does stand. Again, I will let you get your. Yes, I will let you get your shit off, but when you start saying shit that is not true, then I have to stop you.
Well, I'm gonna stop you. Listen, you have to pay an additional. I bet you it's like what, $15, $20 for the stand.
I don't remember the price of it, but that sounds
all I'm saying is $30
for the stand. Yo, wait, Shawny, do you have a 3D printer?
No. Why would I spend my money and waste to get a 3D printer if I'm not a 3D digital artist to do it?
You could make it be like, I got
I got the stand for $20. I got
Dog,
the
it
stand for
costs way
20.
more for me to get the equipment to make that shit, and I'm not going to be utilizing it any longer than that. Look,
Let me say something real quick,
no,
Shawny, real quick before
go.
you say your, because I know you're about to go into a spill. All I'm saying is, like, you're calling this. Look at me, Sony. See, right here. You calling this?
You don't have to just justify it to me. I'm not getting it.
No, listen. I'm not justifying it to you. I'm not talking to you about it. I'm talking to Sony. Sony, right here. See, right here. These guys, right here. Yo, you telling me that this is the PS5 Pro, and we can't put a disc on it, bro? Can't put the little CD thing. You can't in it, bro. Dead ass. How you could buy the PS5, the regular one, because the regular one's the one with the disc, not the digital one. The digital is called the digital for a reason. It's called PS5 Digital. The other one's just PS5. And you get the Pro, and you got a.
And they're doing this because when Sony put out the PS5 Slim, that was when they started introducing the idea of connecting the disk drive to it. Because when you buy the PS5 Slim, it's the same thing. It only comes digital, and you would have to buy the disk drive in order to make your PS5 Slim have the capability of playing your
So
fucking
this the
disc.
PS5 Slim Pro, not the PS5 Pro.
It's yeah,
No,
basically.
it's just PS5. It's PS5 digital, PS5, and then PS5 Pro. Digital again. I'm not justifying it. I do give them a little slack because it gives you the option. Because there were a lot of people who are just digital only. There are people who want to go physical.
You don't need to
Now
buy
with the
this.
Pro, I did like, yes, it sounds crazy because you should just have made one that's physical, but we've had multiple conversations about how we are slowly
leaving.
going to the digital age where everything is going to be digital. So, and it sucks. Yes, it's not consumer friendly,
Not
but
at
it
all.
is where not at all, and it is, but it is where we're going. At least
It's just the
there
name
is
that
an
doesn't
option
go.
that you can go physical if need be, and they're trying to punish us with it. That's just how they're going to market it. Even nowadays with the collector edition
Yeah.
games, a lot of them will literally give you a still case, but the game is digital, so you don't even get the physical game. And I know in California they just made a change recently that now that they can't say that you're actually, when in the rules and the terms, you cannot actually. It doesn't say that you're buying the game to own it. It says that you are essentially renting the game,
Licensing it, yeah.
like you're licensing the game.
You're buying a
So
license, you're not owning
you're
the game.
buying a license to access the game. You're basically buying a Microsoft Office
This is
365
why Game
membership.
Pass is beautiful.
Just to clarify one thing that John said before, because I was wondering,
What's that?
the Slim came with and without the disc. You know that,
Oh,
right?
they sold it in both ways.
They
Because
sold when he spoke to just the digital one, but yes, when they released the slim versions, they came as both again. But
I had
that's how they pushed it.
correct.
You could
But
buy
the
the
difference,
digital and you can add the disk drive later, basically.
All I'm
yeah,
saying,
and you're essentially still getting punished because if you were to buy the digital and you get the slim attachment for the physical drive, that's $80. So essentially, you're buying a digital PS5 for 530 versus buying a regular PS5 that has the disc drive already for 500.
Now,
So it's say it again.
no, I was gonna go on a different point. Finish your point, and then I'll start.
No, I was just simply gonna say, like, yeah, it's not consumer friendly at all. The shit is essentially $800 plus tax minimum.
all,
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
once
as
again,
much as we, Mhm.
all I have to say for that one, for this one particular part of our discussion is, if you were gonna do this with the Pro, you should have just gave us a digital version with the regular PS5, and then come with the Pro that had the disc on, so it can make sense. Because it will make sense to call something Pro once you have digital and physical. You know what I'm saying? Because
No, but the difference was that it's gonna cost them more to make the physical a whole physical drive built in versus, hey, here's your straight up digital version, and then if you want to go physical, we give you the option versus, hey, take this console, but you
no, but what
cannot
I'm
turn it
saying, Shawny,
physical.
is at the beginning when the PS5 came out, the first PS5,
Yeah.
just give me
Mhm.
digital. This is the PS5 digital. Boom.
No,
Right.
They did.
But listen, no, give me a second. Digital PS5 digital. Boom. If you want to buy the attachment's there. You don't have to make one that's physical. like with the physical. You don't have to make one because it's a regular PS5. When the Pro came out, now you show me one that has the physical on it, so I could be like, wait, I don't have to buy extra shit and put it on myself. This shit just comes and it has more shit inside that is better than the first one. All right, let me get that. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, your theory makes sense, but it goes back to what I was saying earlier. They're trying to push us into the digital age and eliminate physical.
And
that's
I want
the
to
only
talk
reason
about
why.
And I want to bring up the point on why. So my example is what they've done recently with Horizon Zero Dawn. So a long time ago, I think maybe like before COVID happened, I had bought a physical copy of like the complete edition for Horizon Zero Dawn. And that was on the PS4. So my wife played and beat that game on the PS4 that we have. And then, we got Forbidden West for the PS5. They just announced that they are remastering Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a PS4 game. They're remastering it so it can play on the PS5, and the PS5 Pro, and it can look more like Forbidden West as opposed to the first game. So just it's gonna look prettier and smoother and stuff like that. What they're doing is if you already own the game, you can upgrade to the new HD version for $10, right? I bought my physical copy of Horizon Zero Dawn on sale from GameStop for $9.99. It was just like a PlayStation sale that they were doing. Controllers were cheap. All their exclusives were like $10. It was just like a whole week of like, oh yeah, PlayStation stuff is on sale.
Yeah,
I bought a controller. I bought a gold PS4 controller, and I bought a bunch of games, and Horizon Zero Dawn was one of them. So if I want to upgrade, I can upgrade my version to the new version for $10. But if you want to buy brand new, the upgraded version, because you've never had the game before, it's $50. The game, up until like a few weeks ago, the game was always in the PlayStation Store for $19.99. The game has been available for you to buy for $20 for a long time. And then when it goes on sale for $10. When they announced that they're releasing the HD version for $50 with the $10 upgrade, if you want to just buy the digital version of Horizon Zero Dawn, they raised the price from $20 to $40. So now if you do want to buy the game, you either have to pay the $40 for the base version or pay the $50 for the super duper version. Someone like me can upgrade for $10 because I have the physical fucking disc. So if I want to upgrade, I can upgrade for $10. So we're pushing towards this complete digital era, and we're now realizing that the platforms that we purchase games on can just change the price anytime they want. No notice, no nothing. They're the provider of set product. They set the price. They set the sales when they happen, when they don't happen, and that's it. So if you didn't get it for that cheaper price, you're asked out. The game's not that price anymore. Will it probably go on sale again in the future? Yeah, it might go on sale again during like holiday time periods and stuff like that, or they might just be doing game specials or whatever. During the pandemic, they were giving away Horizon Zero Dawn. It was like one of those games that you could just download for free, stay at home and play. That was what they were doing. That was how I got like my Uncharted collection.
They did mention that if you did sign up for that program, they will honor Horizon Zero Dawn, and you could still pay the $10 to upgrade that version.
Yeah, so because you already have it.
You already own it.
Because you already have it. Yeah, it's technically in your library. So, is it like cool that I get to pay less than everyone else? I guess. I mean, I don't really see the point of upgrade. I even asked Samara how she felt about going back to play the game. Like that, she was like, I guess like the idea of it looking like Forbidden West sounds cool, but she was like, I'm already done with that game. I'm not gonna go back and play the first one. She finished both of them. So it's like there's nothing else to do. Like she's not a new game plus kind of player either. She's not gonna go back and play the whole game again just to experience it with all of your freaking moves and upgrades and stuff like that. Once we're done with a game, that's it. Goes on the shelf. It's a part of the collection forever.
It's done.
So let me ask a quick question. Macky, have you played Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one?
It's on my list.
So
Yeah, that's no.
Yet. Yeah.
Crispin, have you played that game?
I played the Horizon that's in Game Pass. I was playing that the other day.
That's
a totally different game.
That's a completely different genre.
Yeah, that's the only Horizon I fucking played. I swear to God, I never played that shit in my life.
So that's a no for him. And then sadly for me, as the owner from day one, I still have not played Horizon. I have the disc, the same one you have. Yeah. I literally I don't know. I'm at a point in my life where I can't just buy every new game that comes out. So I just buy the games I actually want to play. So by the time high priority versus low priority, once that low priority game, I'm ready for that. It's already discounted, special edition,
I'm the
all that
same
good
way.
stuff.
Same way.
Yeah. So I never watched. But I don't see the point in them remaking it. The same thing could be said for The Last of Us because they remade The Last of Us Part 1 with the Part 2 system. I got that one because I never played Last of Us. So, sometimes it's good to not always be on top of playing all the certain current games. But I say all this to say, 1 out of the 4 people in this room, well, I don't even know, John, have you played Horizon? Because Nice or Myra played it, but have you played it?
I messed around with it, but I didn't actually sit there and play the whole game. I watched her kind of play through big sections of the game. It looks like a fantastic game, but I don't have time for open worlds. It's an open world, action adventure RPG kind of experience.
Yeah. So then we'll count it still 3 out of 4. So basically 3 of us have not played the game. So for us, it is beneficial. So there is a group that could benefit from this, but at the same time, for somebody who has played the game already, and they played Forbidden West 2, unless they really, really like Horizon, they're not buying this shit.
No.
Brand new
I
again.
don't think so.
And it goes to your point about the digital sorry.
Don't die.
It goes
Shawny,
to the point
please.
about your
Stay with us, bro.
It goes to your point about the digital store. They can increase the prices as they see fit.
True.
Damn, Jesus Christ.
What's up, Reggie?
There's no space up here. It goes back to the point of yes, it is foul because they can just raise the price as they go. I am a big proponent of get physical games, and sadly, as big a proponent as I am about it, I'm slowly getting dragged to the digital side because it's always the pros versus the cons. Get out.
That's why mine live in a cage.
Whoa,
bro.
Whoa.
My animals is
caged.
caged.
Simple this. Digital, you can get the game at midnight. I think Sparking Zero, you can actually get the game on Thursday or Tuesday if you get the premium.
For digital, yeah.
Exactly. You get early days release. So that's it's good benefits, but it's also bad because hey, if you get it day one, it doesn't phase you. If you want to wait for it to go on sale, and now we have a problem. Digital games tend to not go on sale as fast as physical games go. Now I have to decide, do I want to get Metaphor physical or do I want to get a digital? If I get a digital, I can play it at midnight from my dad's house on my portal. If I go physical, I have to wait to get it from GameStop physically, have to put it in my system, load it up, boom, boom, boom. But I would still have the physical copy. And then we get into that whole other conversation about how the fact that what the fuck is the point of physical now? Because the physical is just literally a physical key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So now you got to download the game from the server. Now look at Jump Force. Jump Force servers went down. Game got pulled. Right. I don't think you can buy Jump Force anymore now.
No,
now they took it
it's
off,
not available
right?
anymore.
It's not available.
The only one that works is the deluxe edition on Switch.
Okay, so look at that right there, right? If you had Jump Force in the past and you had the disc, your disc is a key. You play the game saved on your console. We just had a situation where Concord got ripped back because of how bad it did, and Sony pushed out refunds. And for people who were trying to keep the digital version, like a legacy on it, Sony ripped it out the consoles. Your Concord is gone.
Yeah, so they deleted it off your hardware.
They deleted it off your system. They deleted a game that you paid for. I mean, they refunded you guys.
They refunded you, but then they took it back.
They took it back to nah, you're not getting shit. So then
You're
Concord
not
got
keeping
taken
this
away.
little thumbnail in
This
your
little
shit.
thumbnail, dead
Yeah.
ass. That's what it is.
Give me my thumbnail
Concord
back.
gets ripped. Jump Force gets ripped.
Give me
I
my
So
made a
now we're
thumbnail
screwed
and
designer
in
this
for
the,
this.
nasty
we're in a
work.
system where it's like, yo, we pay to play the game, and then it's like you telling me that at any point you can go in there and take the game out after I paid for it, even if I've had it for a certain time. Physical is dope, but now we're at a point where, bro, it don't even matter unless you're. I don't even know if the Switch
Dumb
is fully
question. Dumb
physical.
question. I have a
I
dumb
can answer
question.
that, but let's hear Crispin's question
Since
first.
we talk about digital, you know how they have the little flash drive that you put in the back of the console. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the to
Do
expand the memory.
when you save the games to that and you remove that, I mean, after you remove it, they can't delete it, right? But you have it in this thing, right? But you can't see it anywhere. That make no sense. Yo, fuck this digital shit, man.
I,
Once you try to load it up, they'll
If you try to
snatch it.
load it up, they'll snatch it.
No, but I saw somebody that had it like in a flash drive, like on a hard drive like this, and that's just
Yeah.
decent.
So once
It's
No, no,
it's
no,
there. When
but
you go
I
online,
know, like
they gonna snatch that
if you
shit.
see that they're about to snatch it, that they're snatching one, right, and you just put the ones they're snatching out, you put it in another thing. You could just look at the thumbnails in your computer. Oh, I had this game.
There's probably people out there that have data like that for archival purposes,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if that file would ever be worth anything because it
no, it
doesn't
won't. It
play.
won't. It won't make shit. It won't
It,
make
it
sense.
yeah,
To be
it
like, yeah,
won't.
I remember when these games were a thing.
Yeah, I guess like for preservation,
Yeah,
like of reasons,
but
somebody
that's
could hold
crazy.
on to that data, but
It's crazy to think about that. You pay 60, 70 beans or something, and then they're like, "Give me my thumbnail and my digital code back."
yeah.
that
I
was
mean,
just
I think
Concord's a real specific example because we haven't really seen something. This is like the first time Sony's really like
When there's a
backtracked
first, there
on
is
it.
a second. I
Yep.
promise you. On
I,
Jesus.
I I've always been of the proponent of being frugal and saving money. So when I see and I mentioned this in like one of those videos that I did like back in January or whatever. I think this is when they remastered Last of Us Part 2 for PS5 when this was like a PlayStation 4 game that came out. Um
Hmm.
and it's like I me personally remastering games is a scam. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, especially on a
Depends on how
game.
old the original is.
Yes, that too. Okay, fine. If it's like a game from 2012, 20, not even. I can't even say then. I have to say
Yeah,
like
because that was still the PS3, Xbox 360 era.
it have to be from like '05. Okay, we're gonna remaster. I know that I love this game so much. We're gonna remaster Sonic Heroes for the PlayStation, whatever. I bet I'm gonna get that shit because that makes sense to me. But a game that someone owned on their PlayStation 3 and they still have a PlayStation 3, you're me remastering it for the PS5 just so that it looks like so they can HD or 4K the block. To me, that's a waste of money. I played this game, I've beaten it. Me seeing it in a brighter, nicer light won't really do anything for me in experiencing the game because I already experienced it at its height. That's me.
So because Shawnee dipped out, I was going to answer his question, but I'll comment on what you were saying. The only reason why I'm not too mad at when they remastered the first Last of Us is because the original Last of Us was on the PS3.
Mm.
The PS3 is extremely hard to emulate. Sony did some real weird shit when they made the PS3,
When don't
and
they do some
even they can't get PS3 games to run on a PS5. That's the reason why if you go to the PlayStation Store, you're in PlayStation Plus, there are no PS3 games really like that because it's just hard as fuck to emulate PS3. So it made more sense to make the game a little bit prettier but playable on PS4 because PS4 is much easier to make backwards compatible, which is why you could play every PS4 game on your PS5. So when they did it the first time and took it from PS3 to PS4, that made sense. Remastering a game for PS4 to
For
be on PS5 doesn't make sense because the
okay,
PS5 plays everything on the
yes,
PS4.
that's what I'm gonna ask you. So they remastered Last of Us Part 1 for the PS5, right? They did
Yes.
that.
No, they remade The Last of Us Part 1 for the PS5 using the mechanics of the second game.
Yeah, they remade it.
So
They remastered it once and then remade it once. So there's 3 versions of the first game.
yes.
Too many.
So I'll give you a better example of it would be Persona 3, right? Persona 3 came out in July 13 of 2006. If you're not a Persona fan, you don't
PS2,
know
by the
that,
way.
like, yes, for the PS2. Thank you. Persona games always have like a re-release version. There's like Fez, female a Fez. It's basically like DLC, but just repackaged as a whole new game.
Yeah.
And it will have more features, addition to the story. It's basically the definitive version of the game,
Mhm.
not being DLC. That was a proponent. So then what they did recently, well, not recently, but Persona 5 came out, I want to say probably like 8 years ago. Persona 5 came out 8 years ago. Then they released Royal about 2 years later after that, give or take, which is like the definitive version of the game. They went back and took Persona 3, which was released in 2006. They remade it, called it Persona 3 Reload, and that one is now the definitive version of the game because it's a remake of a game that came out in 2006 with the same mechanics of Persona 5, which is a whole new fresh coat of paint, brand new HD figures, more 3D, more realistic, more lively, more beautiful. It's just a definitive version of the game.
They
Released it for
even they even
$60.
made a portable version of Persona 3,
They made a
the
whole a
PSP
portable
version.
version of it.
Mhm.
Exactly. So because of this, now we're getting a game, what, almost damn near want to say almost 20 years later, give us say 15, 20 years later, revamped for players who never played part 3 or don't want to go back and play it in that old style. It ended up being so good that people want them to do the same thing to Persona 4 to allow them to play that game. So in a situation like that, it works out because you essentially are playing a game that you've never played from back then, cleaned up, and has more modern mechanics. It's so good that people I talk to don't even want to go play Persona 4 because they're like, yo, like 3 is just, it's so beautiful, it's so up to date. Like, we need them to do it again for Persona 4. Same thing, that's why you see the Resident Evil games get the remakes from the ground up. Great games back then, but let's give it to you with more realism. Let's make it more horror focused, things of that nature. So that's the only situation where I see them working out. Like Soul Reaver, just like got announced at the State of
Mhm.
Play,
I saw
that
that.
one is a remaster, but it literally is another fresh can of paint sprayed all over
I'm
it.
I'm only
It's
cool with
still,
them.
choppy and shit, but it looks a little bit more modern and crisp.
I'm only cool with them when they used to look like shit. Even though it was good looking back then, but it looks like shit, and they make it look better, and like they make it run smoother and all that stuff.
Hmm.
I'm cool with that. But if like the guy said, if it was in the PS4 looked good. Obviously, in the standards of today, it doesn't look better than today, but it don't look bad. You can play the PS4 right now and you have fun because it looks pretty good.
It looks good. The only difference is that
They
it runs
still
off a
make
hard drive.
games for PS4.
Almost all of these releases are PS4/PS5. There are not too many games that are only on
Which
PS5.
other console generation did they do this?
None.
Yeah.
This is this is the only console generation that has not let go of the previous generation.
It's because of they want the compatibility. Back in the days, like if we really look back,
Oh, bro, it's
not,
because a
not
lot of people
but give
don't
me a second. Give me a second, baby. Let me say something. I'm like,
the land.
back in the day, like let's go Nintendo, the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo, like the first one, the disc don't work. Nintendo 64, you can't switch them, right? Then you go into the DS and all them, the DS, not the DS, the Wii and all that shit, and the six and GameCube. None of that works together. Well, the GameCube to the GameCube
Yeah, I was gonna say the Wii plays GameCube
yeah,
games.
those yeah, but that's when they started doing this. All right, we could play these games in the next house, and like you see how you now you have old games going into the Switch. And I'm sorry, I'm a Nintendo, but it's the thing that I know the best. You know how they have the old game that you can play on the Switch. They thought about, in the PS5, we're gonna make sure that all the PS4 games you can play on the PS5. So they spend less money making new games strictly for the PS5. You just get the PS5 for the graphics or the whatever. That's what I'm thinking. Because if every new game that you come out with is PS4 and PS5 compatible, that means you're holding it back a little bit so it could work on the PS4, but it also works on the PS5.
But the thing is,
I
the
think
the
the
PS5 plays PS4 games better. Also because it's running on an SSD instead of reading off of a hard drive. So you know that read speeds are a lot faster on an SSD. You understand all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the main difference. You go from imagine downloading a file from your hard drive versus your SSD. You would much rather use the SSD because you're not going to sit there and wait 28 minutes for your file to download
Or a
off of your
5-minute
hard drive.
video.
You know, like so yeah, if you have the PS5, you're going to want to play that PS4 game on the PS5. It's just going to be an easier experience. You're not going to wait forever for the game to do what it has to do. You're just going to play.
Yeah.
That's the only difference, in my opinion, is that, yeah, like it runs the game better. So if you have the right TV, like we keep talking about, it's going to look nice.
Right electricity, right.
you gotta have the right PSE&G plan, you know?
The right chair.
But no, I mean, I think the problem was just more so that it came out in a time where there was such a shortage and COVID kind of put a hamper on that. So I think now they're catching up after the fact, and what they're trying to do is essentially they're trying now to push us to the point where PS4 games are going to stop getting made, because there are a lot of PS4 owners still out there, and there are a lot of owners who don't have the PS5. We're also currently now in we're currently at a point where you can walk into a store and pick up a PS5, whereas for a good year or two when COVID time you could not do that. That console was probably one of the first consoles I've seen that was resold for multiple amounts higher than it should have been, which is hilarious looking back at it now. Like, bro, you should just been patient.
You would
That
have paid
being said,
$100 for the Pro instead of $1,000 for the regular shit.
Yeah, people were paying $1,000 for the regular one.
people were thinking for 1,000, and now the same concept. So, quick note before we end it, they did. So, just to give you an update, on September 26th, because we're recording 4 days after the fact, they did release, and this was, in my opinion, this was a bad idea. They made a PlayStation 30th anniversary edition console of the Pro, right? It's basically grayscaled, has the same features as the PS1 from back in the day. These PlayStation Pro consoles were a limited edition piece at 12,300, which was the release date of the PlayStation 1.
The original PlayStation.
I believe it's
PS1 is a different console.
Yes. So the original PlayStation. So that was 12,300, and this console was bundled together, so you were able to get the 30th anniversary. Thank you, John or Macky.
It looks
You were
really
able to
nice,
get,
though.
It looks.
Let me just say, it
nice.
looks
I'm not gonna
very,
lie.
and this
It looks clean.
this is why I wanted to end on this note. So this console looks very nice. Like, Mac, if you click the second picture on the bottom under it,
Gotcha.
the console itself has the same style as the original. It's gray, and they have the number out of the 12,300 ingrained in the middle, so you can have it. And they also include the cover, the physical external disk drive or physical disk drive. They have a cover that is specifically gray to match if you wanted to turn it in to a
If you have the
physical
disk
version.
drive, notice
Why
that
don't they just put the disk
with the
drive,
disk
bro?
drive. You gotta pay for that, papa.
You gotta
Yeah,
pay.
bro,
You have to pay for it because it would cost more to put the console. But essentially, you
gotta pay the money.
So
Give me my
that console was
money.
limited. Hold on, let me finish. The console was limited to 12,300 as a bundle only. You got the console, the controller, the DualShock Edge, which is essentially the Pro controller.
Yeah.
You got a dual gray charging dock, and they have like a USB-C cable that is shaped like a PlayStation 1 cable, which I thought was really cool.
That is cool. I like
All of that was for 12,300 pieces. They all sold out. The Sony website got bought it. This is exclusive only to PlayStation Direct. Scalpers got them. 1,000 of them all gone. And if you go and look, they still have the base regular PlayStation. Sorry, not the base. They have the regular white PlayStation 5 Pro still available on the site right now for pre-order. So, in my opinion, this is a bad idea, because if they were smart, People were really riled up talking about this console. They should have released the 30th version first, waited until it released, and then put up the white version for sale. Putting up the white version for sale right next to that one, after everybody is salty about not getting that one, they're not going to want to buy that console. That's why we're seeing it still online available for pre-order. They also released the controller, which was done separately, which is really nice. Bought that. They had the PlayStation Portal, same a grayscale 30th anniversary style,
7,000.
and the new slim PS5 digital version that is also the same silhouette, color, and style that was available for pre-order.
Bro,
That's got pre-order.
whoever has
Come on
the
to
number
26.
one and the last one, that shit's gonna sell for 7,000 or
I
8,000.
mean, it's kind of cool that it's ingrained. It's currently being sold on eBay for like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000.
Yeah, it's
Too much for
between
my
2 and
blood.
3 racks.
It's
Way
gonna
too
go
much
up.
for my blood.
It's gonna go up.
It's gonna go up, but
It's
it was
just
a
because
bad
it's
fall.
limited. Anything that's limited
That's what I'm
is
saying.
always perceived to go up in value just because of limited quantities. And it's right because in video game history, anything that was that they didn't sell too many of this one game because it sucked, it was ass, nobody bought it, and those be the games that are worth the most money on that damn
Yep.
console when you're
And
retro
one
collecting for
Mario
that.
game that nobody liked.
Nah,
They
that'll never
Yeah.
happen. There will always be an abundance of Mario everywhere.
No, for
Unless
sure.
unless you have a physical copy of Mario 3D All Stars for the Nintendo Switch, because that was a limited print and they don't sell that game anymore,
Yes.
even digitally.
That was a
They
purpose.
they
Yeah.
said it was only for a limited time. You can't even buy that game on the eShop. It's just done. It's gone. You only had a few months to buy it, and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was pre-orderable as well. Well, for the amount of time when they
Yeah,
cut it off.
I had pre-ordered it and I got my physical copy that way from GameStop. But like
So
all in all, this because I know we're getting ready to get out of here.
yeah, I'm about to tie it up.
Okay, yeah. If you have a way of tying up the conversation, go right ahead.
No, like all in all, to wrap this up and keep it simple, the PlayStation 5 Pro is $700 retail plus an external drive plus the stand. You're looking at about 800, maybe after taxes and shit and warranty, 900 possibly. That's just too expensive.
Leave it at 7.
From a consumer standpoint that has a PlayStation 5, I will not personally be upgrading to it. I will just wait for the price to drop because as John and the guys I mentioned earlier, there are not that many games, if at all, that are PS5 exclusive that would be able to justify the purchase. There are PS4 games that also were made and optimized for the PS5, but they are not PS5 exclusive. Now you get some of the bells and whistles of it, but as a casual player like Crispin's, he's not gonna really care. He just wants to play the game. So all in all, this console is not meant for us, the wallet money conscious consumers. This is meant for those this is not for me, super PlayStation fanboys that don't give a fuck, that got the money to burn, for the influencers that are going to buy the console and do the reviews, be the first ones to have it, and for people who are still on the PS5, the PS4 currently, or somebody like Crispin who does not have a PlayStation 5 currently. But if he was to get a PlayStation 5, it would just logically make sense for him to get the Pro because he would be paying $200 and would have a little bit more longevity. Logically, that makes sense.
Nope.
Financially, it does not make sense.
Nope.
All in all, Sony, we need Xbox to come back and really get back into this console war shit because it's allowing Sony to say, hey, we're just going to start doing some wild shit and y'all can't do shit because Xbox is not putting out something that's going to make us compete. Therefore, they don't have to drop the price. Remember, I think it was the PS3, PS4 was supposed to be 700, I want to say. And then Xbox is like, yo, our console is going to be $499. And they were forced to drop the price down. Notice the difference between that time and now. We need more console competition because Sony's just going to be able to keep getting away with this bullshit.
I feel like they're taking an Apple approach to their hardware.
Facts.
They want to be like that premium device in their industry.
Para la pinga, bro.
Like I said, we need some competition.
All I'm
Because at
gonna
least
say
the
is,
difference between them and Apple is I can take my iPhone and make a fucking movie for $700. My console can just play my game and watch some stuff like some apps
Some
and
streaming
play some
apps.
DVDs for $700.
And
I can
Blu-rays.
justify paying $700 for this phone. I can't justify paying $700 for that console.
Your phone definitely costs more than $700.
Well, I'm the base phone, but you can still do a lot of shit now with the new base phone for $700.
Closer to 1,000.
Yeah, those
If
phones
you really want to get
definitely
like a
$1,000.
No, the base
Yeah.
one is $800.
yeah.
But all I'm gonna say is, whoever is at the end of this fucking video is gonna tell you what the hell to do. We out of here. Goodbye.
Definitely.
Oh, you guys are still here? Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for taking your time to get it right here. If you want more, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, share. You already know what it is. If you want to just listen to us, you go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, anywhere there's a podcast, we there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what we does. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, our Nerdy by Nature TV. We are everywhere, bro. We are everywhere. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out. We nerdy as hell over here, and you want to be over here with us. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss out. See ya. Thank you.